In this video, we're going to talk about percent change, which is also the same as percent increase or decrease. And so we have some steps here that you can follow whenever you're asked to find the percent change of something. And so we're going to use those steps in example 6. So when we talk about inflation rate for the United States, we're referring to the percent increase or decrease in the prices over a time period, typically over a year. And so we're going to look from March 2021 to 2022, which we all know prices really increased during that time. So suppose a car of the same value changed price from $15,000 to $16,275 due to inflation. Compute the rate of increase for this item. And so I'm just going to jot down here. So we've got March 2021. We have a price of $15,000. And then in March 2022, we have a price of $16,275. So the first thing that's good to note is just whether or not, before you calculate anything, is it an increase or decrease? And so because we consider this the original amount, there was definitely an increase going from 2021 to 2022. So that's a good thing to note just before you start. That way, when you can look at your answer at the end and make sure that you see that increase and you know that that number represents an increase. And so step 1, and so we're coming up here to the top, find the amount of increase or decrease. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to subtract the two numbers. So I'm going to take 16,000, so this is step 1. We're going to take $16,275 minus $15,000, and we're going to get our $1,275, and that is our increase. So this is the increase amount. Okay, and if you're wondering, how do you know what order to subtract? The nice thing is, no matter what order you subtract in, you're always going to get this, the number is going to be the same. The difference is going to be the same. It's just if I had done this the other way around, this number would have been negative. And so what you could do is just even ignore the sign in that case and just refer to the original, what we did before we started the calculations, and we looked at how the prices changed and we noticed that there was an increase. And so in the end, just make sure that you note that your percentage is an increase. And so now that we found the increase, our step 2, we're going to divide that increase, so 1,275, divided by the original amount, which is $15,000. And so when we divide those, we get 0.085. And then our step 3 is just to convert that to a percentage. So you can take 0.085, you can multiply it by 100, which basically just moves that decimal 2 spots to the right, and you end up with 8.5%. So the price of the car in 1 year increased 8.5%, which is really significant. And you note down here, that's a huge increase. So inflation over a year typically ranges between 1% and 3%. And so this is much, much, much greater than the typical inflation rate.